G'day all, welcome back to the channel. Today's video has been 38 or more years in the making. Today we're finally going to get to working on my Teac V-900X, the cassette deck I've wanted ever since I was, about 11 and a half years old. Living in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, grade 5. And yeah, I have been waiting for this day for a long time now, so I can't wait to see what this deck is all about and see what I'm up against on this one, because this is the most complicated cassette deck I have ever serviced, period. And it's probably going to be the most complicated for quite some time, because back in the day, this unit was made between 1983 and 1985, and in 84 and 85, this was the top-of-the-line model. In 83, there were 3 other models above this. There was the Master Series only, and those comprised the Z5000, the Z6000, and Z7000. And let me tell you, I don't know if you've seen a Z7000, but I know I haven't, and judging by the description and the pictures I've seen alone, that thing's a monster. I mean, that one, clearly Teac was going after Nakamichi on that one, because the Z7000 is a triple direct drive motor unit. It's got a direct drive for the capstan and both reels. Very similar to the Nakamichi Dragon and the big boy from Revox back then. But yeah, this guy is not too far below that at all, as we are about to find out. So, yeah, I'm finally sitting here with my dream cassette deck. And there is no other cassette deck I would trade over this one as it sits. But anyway, we got to get going on this. So what is the plan for this unit? Well, this video, we're just going to do a check around and see if everything, or rather, see exactly what we have here and what needs to be done. And just get a general impression on what kind of shape this thing's in, because quite frankly, it's so complicated. I don't think we're going to have much time for anything else. I thought about putting the transport service at the end of this so we could hear it playing in this video, but yeah, I'm just going to say right now that that's probably not going to happen. If I can get it playing in this video, I will, without having to mess with the transport too much, but do not hold your breath on that one because, well, complicated. Have I mentioned that? Anyhow, let's get started on this. We'll start with the general external appearance here. And I'm doing 4K just because I can. Alright. Looks like all these buttons are in great shape. None of the finish has really worn very much off this, so it's very possible we have a low hours unit here, which is exciting for me. I was hoping to get one in good shape because of how much I paid for this thing, which, by the way, was $375, and I'd do it again tomorrow. And point of order, I'm actually tempted to do that because there is another one of these on eBay right now for about that price, and I'm just trying to say no to it because, like, I've got so many other tape decks I need to get to on this channel before I start buying duplicates of this thing, but there will be duplicates. I'm getting more than one of these, for sure. Anyhow, continuing on. I don't see anything worn off about the finish on these buttons. There's a little dirt on some of them, but not too much. Fade time control works well. The auto fader down here, there's really no wear at all on that. So that must not have been used much. We got counter clear, counter mode, tape length, intro check, memory, CPS, and then we've got the buttons for the auto cal down here. And I hope that works, but I'm not holding my breath on that because we've got, well, 38-year-old parts in here, at least. Could be 39 or 40-year-old parts for all we know. Got a jack here for a wired remote, which I do not have, and I'm not sure I'm planning on getting it because who needs a remote for cassette decks these days? Got your usual left and right mic inputs. Moving up to the top cover, you can't really see it too well, but there is a little bit of a dip here. Like somebody had something heavy on top of this. And this is a heavy cassette deck as it is, so yeah, I couldn't blame somebody for putting something on top. We do have a little bit of a boo-boo up here. The grill's been kind of deformed in that spot there. A little bit of a scratch there in the paint. Nothing I'm too concerned about. So, thus far it seems like we're doing okay for the amount of money I spent on this thing. Yeah, I can't really see that these screws have ever been out before, which is good. I like being the first guy to lay eyes on the innards of this thing. Back panel. A little bit of a gunk on the back there. It's not too worrisome. In and output jacks are not corroded at all. Very happy to see that. Got a voltage selector here in case you happen to be somewhere other than the United States on this one, or Canada. I'm looking for any indications of a manufacturing date, not finding anything, so we'll try and look in the insides and see if there's anything to tell us what year this was made. We do have a little bit of a scratch in the front panel here. I'm kind of disappointed to see, but yeah, there's another one up there too, I guess. Nothing too serious. I don't want to spend too much effort trying to get this up on the side here. But yeah, nothing's amiss down there either, so how's about we turn this around, plug her in and see what happens. I'm not expecting much. But we are going to find out nonetheless. Alright, I'm plugging it in now. And let's see what happens when we power it on. Oh, fantastic. We've got a cassette well light. Even better. The cassette well light in these is absolutely critical. It's what helps the deck determine whether or not the reel drive is working. So the fact that that's working means that this really is a low hours deck. Unless it's been serviced before, and I don't think it has. But yeah, very encouraging. We've got reference showing in the display for the auto calibration. Kind of looks like it's above that line, but it isn't. Yeah, that's the reference calibration. Showing metal tape right now. It's got automatic detection of tape type, which is good. Let's see, will the door open? It will, and now it's making noise. Yeah, that's not a good noise. I bet I know what that noise is too, but we'll just hold off for a minute. I can't tell whether or not the direct drive capstan motors are running. Oh, it is running. I can feel it. It's running. I would bet you money the mode belt in there is kaput. I bet that's what that noise is. Let me get a tape here and we'll see if it does anything at all. Okay, we're gonna go for this one. Country Originals by Yukon Artists. Okay, tape type is auto selected to normal. I'm just playing with the counter mode here. Seems like that's working. I don't know what half this stuff does yet. You'll have to forgive me. Let's see, do we get rewind and fast forward? Nope, nothing. How about play? Nope, nothing there either. But it does open the door again and give me back my tape, so this is good. Yeah, I will bet money that that mode belt is gone. It has to cycle the mode gear to a certain place to enable eject, and apparently it's in that position right now. And that's how we're able to get inside this thing. And, oh yeah, you can see the capstan spinning around in there, I think. Yeah. Oh, the pinch roller is really nasty looking in this. That might need to be replaced. And the capstan's really dirty too. Maybe this has more hours on it than I thought it did. Anyway, we got to continue with our evaluation here, so I'm going to shut that off and stop the noise. And I am going to get inside this thing now. And while I do that, I'm going to put a little picture up on the screen. What you are seeing right now is me as an 11-year-old kid, or rather 11 years and 10 months old, because I think that's about the time we moved into that house. That there is all the stereo equipment I had in the world at the time. I had one of those, I think it was a realistic maybe, clarinet system, record player and stereo tuner. No cassette deck, unfortunately. And all I had for taping was that monophonic, you know, cassette deck there. And you're probably wondering what my electronic project kit is doing underneath that that clarinet system. It's because I was using it as a VU meter. I was obsessed with VU meters at the time. So yeah. Oh, these screws are loose. Anyway, yeah, I have been wanting one of these since that day, or rather even since before that day. I spent most of my 1985 just wishing I had the ability to record things off the radio. And I just didn't have the ability to do that because A, the boombox I wanted was far too expensive, and B, the cassette deck I wanted was extremely too far expensive, if that makes any sense. Alright, cover's coming off. I think it's fighting me. Not exactly sure how they intend you to get this off, but here it goes. All right, what do we got to deal with in here? Let's look at the transports first. Oh, there is a belt on there, I think. Yeah, there is a belt. Maybe if I just help it along, we can get this thing to play. I would love to get it to play today. All right, let me just check here. Oh, that belt is very stretched. Needs replacing bad. Let me just look in here. Is there a way to deal with this without taking the transport out? Honestly, I'm not sure that there is, but I think there's enough of the belt here that I can possibly help the mechanism along to play something. And we'll try and do that by and by, because I really, 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 really want to hear this play today. Anyhow, now you're starting to get an idea of what I'm up against on this one, because this looks ridiculously complicated. And this isn't even the Z7000. Okay, there's a problem right there. I'll tell you what. See if I can get you in here to see it. See that crap down in there? This brown, awful glue that goes conductive over time. And it has to come out. All of it. I'm just picking at this one right now just to see how bad it is. It's not gone black yet. When it goes black, you're in real trouble, but maybe this will actually work without needing me to do that just yet, because it looks like this is going to be just a nightmare to get that board out to work on it. And yeah, there's more of that garbage glue down in there. And that's on a jumper too. That has to go. That really has to go. It's just everywhere down in there. And I hope there's nothing on the bottom of the board. But there probably is. Okay, what else we got going on inside this thing? This here is the Autel board. And we've got a super capacitor right there. That's going to need to be changed. After all these years, that's not going to be any good anymore, I'm sure. 0.1 farad, 5.5 volts. I might just upgrade that to something higher capacity too while I'm at it, just to give it a little bit more backup time. I'm looking for date codes on any of these parts here. Not seeing any yet. If you spot some, let me know. Maybe down on the power supply here. I'm looking and looking. I could have sworn I saw something through the grill that suggested 1984. But I can't find that part now with the cover off, which is weird. Anyhow, I don't see too much going on in here to suggest that it's not going to be in terrific shape once I get done with it. I'm probably going to end up recapping a bunch of stuff, especially when it comes to the line inputs and outputs. Like go in with Nikon Muse or something like that. Maybe even polymers, but I don't know. We'll get to the electronics when it's time to get to the electronics. First thing I want to do is try and get the transport to work, because I really, really desperately want to hear this thing. I never heard one back when I was visiting Decabellas all those many years ago and staring at this thing just with longing in my eyes, just wanting this so bad. Anyhow, I'm going to abandon the search for a product number or for a date code. And we're going to set this up here. And we're going to set you up here. And I'm going to shut you off real quick. I'm going to hook this up and we're going to try to make it play. How's that sound? All right, here we go. I think I'm set up and ready to get this thing to play back music. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I've taken my backdrop down because we're going to use the home theater for this. I've waited so long, I just don't care about the test setup. I want to hear it through the home theater and see how it sounds. So we're going to use my YouTube demo tape today. We're going to risk it getting eaten by the machine. And we're going to go side 2, which is encoded with Dolby C. And it has my, just basically a bunch of selections from the YouTube audio library. So, it's buzzing again. Let's go around this way. Yeah, that's what's causing it. It's the cam drive. And it's trying to unravel my tape from the inside, I think. Yeah, that's basically what the problem is back here. This belt is slipping big time. And I do have new belts, and I did get them out. I got a couple of them here. This one is the exact size needed for this machine. It's a 6.5 inch internal circumference. However, this is one of my 2mm wide VCR belts. And the stock belt is 1.6 millimeters wide, so I got out this other one. This is one of my 1.2 belts. However, this one is too short. So having seen what this looks like in here, I think when I do the transport service, I'll go with the VCR belt. It just seems like it needs the extra torque from that. So let's try this again. See if we can get her playing. I don't know exactly which direction to turn this wheel. It's playing now, but there's nothing showing in the audio. Why is there nothing in the audio? Like I said, complicated deck. There's going to be more wrong with it than just transport stuff, I'm sure. That's fighting the box elder bug again. There's a box elder bug right on the camera gimbal. Just a second, let me get rid of him. Alright, so let me see here. I'm going to try one more time to get this working and playing. Okay, yeah, it's playing again, but no audio. No audio whatsoever. Very odd indeed. Nothing on the meters, nothing in the output. I might have to do some tinkering with this thing and try to figure out exactly what's going on here, because it's clearly playing. It's just we're not getting any audio whatsoever. Let me break the scope out. Okay, scope is online and we're going to do some testing here. And I got to get behind the tape deck to do this because it's really hard to see anything. I'm going to start at the output level control here. See if I can figure out what I'm doing here. Nothing there. I have no idea which is the head wires in this thing and which are not. Got all these wires that go all over the place in here. Is that audio? I don't know. Don't think it is. Where is my audio at? Could it be getting lost in the DBX board? Let me come back around. I've heard the solder joints get screwy on this board. No, apparently that didn't do it. Oh, there it is. It's playing. Apparently I had sort of a brain dead moment there. I didn't have the monitor on tape. It was on source. And of course there's no source to deal with here, so This thing needs help. I'll tell you that right now. It's very muffled. But I'm excited. My dream tape deck is playing. It's not playing well, but it's playing. Once I do a transport service on this and get that slipping belt replaced, I bet it's going to be great. It might need some azimuth adjustments too. I'm not sure. We'll take a look at that once we get in there. Man, I can't believe I did that. I thought it was broken, but nope. It's just me being a bonehead. I didn't have the tape button selected. I'll just try and shut it off there. And we'll go in on the other side with the vaporwave. Just trying to get it to fast forward there. It's got a real nice, speedy fast forward. The idler might not be in bad shape in this thing. But I'm going to replace it anyway because, well, you don't want to know how much it cost me to get idlers for this thing. We'll talk about that in the transport service video. For now, let me cut out the noise reduction. We'll get her playing again. If I can move the idler in the right position.
Video cameras and decks no larger than a 35mm camera. The technological array is literally breathtaking.
I don't see any issues with the display in there. Teac is known for losing segments in the VU meters, but this one's doing fine. Well, it sounds great with vaporwave, I'll tell you what. But that's only because the heads are so dirty it doesn't really matter for vaporwave. I just hope the heads are, you know, in good enough shape that I can really bring this thing back around. Otherwise, I'm going to be real tempted to go get that other V-900X. See if I can move it to another spot on the tape here and play another selection. I can't believe this even works as well as it is right now, honestly. I thought that belt would be just in pieces. Yeah, it's got a lot of potential here. It just sounds great. Come on, fast forward again, please. I can't believe how fast this thing moves in fast forward. It's really something. Back to play, please. But yeah, this is really promising. It's not shutting off. The counter's advancing properly. It's really dirty, but we'll take care of that soon enough. But yeah, very, very encouraging here. Didn't eat the tape either. I wonder, can I get in there and clean those heads? All right, I got the tape door off. It just clips on like every other unit I've worked on in the past. We're gonna just do a little cleanup here. I need to see if I can get this thing to sound better than it does. I need to. Gotta be done. First off, I'm gonna clean this big time, because the capstan is terrible. It's not as bad as, oh, what was it I worked on last time that was really bad? I can't even think straight. I'm so excited by the idea of owning one of these things. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get it to fire up and work without a tape in it, because it's going to be hard to... Gotta clean the pinchy roller. And we gotta do it more than once, because it's terrible. I don't think this has been done in a very long time. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's not been done in ages. But it's much better now. There we go, we got her to be quiet. Now I'll do the head, or heads plural, if I can find my flashlight. Actually, the heads weren't very dirty. That makes me a mite nervous. Actually, that makes me very nervous. I don't see any missing paint from the adjustment screws, so I don't know. I do not know. Nice, shiny, clean capstan. We'll try the tape again and we'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to leave the door off for this, and we're going to try again and see what the YouTube audio side of this tape sounds like, because that's where the most treble's going to be. That squealing was me trying to get this mode belt to behave itself. Okay, it's situated again. Holy smokes, guys, this thing is bringing it when it comes to the audio now. Let's try that again. I'll see if I can get it a little better. because we had a lot of interference there from that squealing belt back there. Plus, I didn't quite have it locked fully into play mode. Dolby C does not sound great on this. It's probably way out of calibration with a bunch of bad capacitors though, so can't blame it for that. If I switch out Dolby, it really sounds good. I don't know where the Dolby is on this board, on this unit, but could be back there, could be down under there, could be anywhere. DBX works, or appears to. You might be wondering what this DBX disc thing is down there. Well, there are certain vinyl records that were encoded with DBX that this button is meant to record from. So that's what that button is. I don't have any of those records, so I can't try that out, but it's really cool if this thing has it. Output level control is quite dirty, as expected. But yeah, it sounds really good without the Dolby at all. I'm gonna go further in yet. Can't go too far because this thing winds so quickly. Yeah, Dolby is really not working very well on this machine. And I think we've got a bit of a channel imbalance as well. Maybe not. I'm kind of far away from the home theater speakers right here, so it's really hard to tell. You know, on second thought, the longer I run this in Dolby C, it's starting to sound better. I'm betting that's capacitors at fault. I'm just betting money on it now. And yeah, we've got a bunch of... Pardon me while I get it to stop making noise. But yeah, we've got a bunch of really old, really not so good capacitors in there. Shoei brand, mostly it looks like. I don't know that this whole board would need to be recapped. I'd have to go through this board with the ESR meter, and I'm going to do that anyway, eventually. But yeah, most of the audio related capacitors would be down on this board underneath here. So yeah, I think next video we're going to do the transport service, of course, because I want to get the transport squared away. Can't do much else without that working. go through looking for bad solder joints, obviously, because I know the DBX board is known to have issues with that, where it connects. Obviously needs a new supercapacitor, so yeah. I'll probably get with DigiKey sometime in the new year and start ordering capacitors for this thing. I'm going to have to figure out exactly what I need. I might do that with the schematics and not with the old eyeballs on the actual, you know, circuitry. But yeah, as far as the transport goes, I think it's working almost perfectly now. Trying to move it around here. That belt obviously needs to be changed. And yes, I am going to use the VCR belt for that one. I believe there is a way to change it with this whole thing in the machine, but it's difficult. So since I have to service the transport anyway, I'm just going to wait until I get everything out and, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, that'll be the transport service video, and that'll be fun because according to the service manual, they want you to take the front panel of the machine off first. Anyhow, yeah, I finally got one of these things. It's been so long. I thought it was never going to happen at this point. But no, it happened. I've got one. And I can't wait to start digging into this transport and getting everything this thing needs. And oh yeah, that's the other thing I got to worry about, is whether or not the direct drive motorboard needs capacitors as well. Maybe I've got the capacitors for that already. We'll have to see. That's for the transport service video. Anyway, I guess that's going to be it for this one. I'll leave you to look at my rat's nest here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.